I get way again today. But thank you again, everyone, for joining me, Jill Lebowski, the Midlife Mojo Master, either live or here on the recording, as I share with you my thoughts and ideas on how to increase your enrollments and attract new business builders to your young living business with a focus on the midlife woman. My goal with this webinar is to get you excited for your personal possibilities as a midlife woman in the network marketing industry, sharing young living. And for those of you who aren't familiar, network marketing is a system for selling goods or services through a network of distributors. Anyone willing to put in the work can create their own business on their time, at their pace, and create financial freedom for themselves. I also want to raise your passion level for helping others, not only by sharing the amazing young living products that are must-haves for the midlife woman, but also for the life-altering business opportunity you can give to other women. And I don't say life-altering lightly. All the great teachers of network marketing teach that to grow your business, you have to grow yourself. And the midlife woman is so ready to do this. And since you are listening in, I know you too are ready to grow. So I intend this webinar to be interactive, and already some of you have gotten in on the chat, and I appreciate that so much. So please let me know in the chat group if you are live or on the recording in the comments. And just as a little FYI, I do have a second computer set up, and I am looking over there at my chat, but I tend to get a little distracted if I do too much at once. So if I don't respond to any questions right away, at the end, I certainly will go back and make sure that I've answered what I can, but I will try to respond as we go along. So yeah, so just let me know. All right, so women go through many different transitions in life. Around the age of 40 to 60 is another big one. Not only physically are our bodies changing, but so is our everyday routine. We oftentimes feel invisible or unimportant, and many women are experiencing an empty nest for the first time with kids off to college or living all over the world. For women who were home raising their families all these years, the house feels quiet and empty, and daily interactions with friends at play dates, school sports events, volunteering at the kids' schools are no longer, and women start to feel lonely or isolated. Many are ready to get a job, but they're afraid that they no longer have the skills and experience required after all the years away from the workplace. And they want to contribute to the family income, leave a legacy for their kids, be able to take care of themselves should something happen to their spouse's job or health. But that being said, they also need a job that allows them flexibility to work part-time around their other commitments, be able to go visit their kids and their grandbabies when they want, or travel with their retired husbands. They don't want to give up the community work they've been involved in for so long. And then you have other women over 50 or who are starting to look towards retiring for the careers that maybe have always defined a big part of who they were. No longer do they have the daily camaraderie of their work family or a scheduled place to be Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, so they become bored and feel lost. And then others want to retire from their jobs, but they can't afford to right now. And I don't know why, but for whatever reason, divorce or even being widowed around your midlife years is very prevalent. And it leaves many women feeling very fearful of how they're going to take care of themselves financially should something happen. Now, all women are used to being productive all day long in their younger years, contributing meaningfully to their family's career and community. For some, though, now physical issues that life's toll has taken on them leave them feeling sidelined, depressed, and older than they actually are. As women get older, their roles begin to change and they need to reinvent themselves. But oftentimes they don't have any clue where to start or where to get support. And I don't know if any of you can relate to what I'm talking about, but I just wrote all that and said all that. And so that was because a lot of that definitely, I can relate to and I've experienced personally. And so will many of the people that you are trying to attract to your business. One of the biggest draws to network marketing for the over 40, even more so for the over 50, 60-year-old crowd, is connecting with other people and having a comfortable, positive place to belong. Not that all ages and sexes aren't looking for that connection too, but not in the same way. My team personally is probably about 90% women over the age of 40, and if I had to guess, maybe 75% of them are probably over 50. And I've definitely seen a difference in how the midlife woman connects as compared to maybe my younger upline or crossline teams. So I want to just take a moment and connect with one another. So as I go over the agenda and tell you a little bit about myself, if you want to just take a moment in the comments, share your name, your age if you choose, maybe where you're from, and then one struggle if you choose that you've encountered either physically or emotionally that you either still struggle with or maybe even overcome since turning 40, because I promise you, you probably are not alone. So first, a few little things about me. Number one, as I said earlier, my name is Jill Lebowski, and I live in South Florida with my husband of 21 years and my 2 children. And my oldest son just left for college last week, University of Florida, and I am surviving, for those of you who are wondering. I'm doing all right, actually better than I thought I would. And my daughter is a high school sophomore, just turned 15 last week, getting her permit. So we've got a lot of life changes going on in my house. And I've worked in women's wellness for 15 years, actually a little over 15 years, as a certified health coach, certified Pilates instructor, certified menopause coach, and a breast cancer exercise specialist. Now, living in South Florida definitely attracts an older crowd, and therefore the majority of my clientele have always been the 50 and up crowd. And I've been sharing Young Living now for about 5 years. And although I grew my business relatively quickly the first couple of years, around years 3 and 4, it started to become stagnant. Personally, I had burned myself out teaching classes on everything from dogs in oils, baby in oils, men in oils, cooking in oils, hosting monthly DIY classes, and I don't even enjoy DIYs. And seriously, so much more. I was constantly in creation mode, making PowerPoints and handouts and teaching. And most of the time, these were unfamiliar subjects I had to first educate myself on. And I was doing just about all the teaching for my team, even really in the beginning, my crossline teams as well. But all that teaching didn't feel authentic to me. You know, here I am teaching about skincare, yet I rarely even wash off my own makeup, or I'm teaching about pregnancy, and I haven't been pregnant in 10 plus years. And I was just finding that over time, yes, my teams were slowly starting to grow, but I personally was just not enjoying myself. And I definitely was not attracting or enrolling new people into my business anymore. And that is the death of any network marketing business. I was frustrated, tired, bored, and you really always need to be bringing new blood, new members into your business because life happens to people. And a once thriving business can quickly go south. And well, guess what? That's exactly what happened to me. At the same time, my business wasn't really what I wanted to be. There was about an 18-month period of time where there was just this personal turmoil going on in my body. And as I look back now, I was in the heights of perimenopause. And where some women breeze through this time, this was not the case for me. I was barely sleeping due to sweating all night long. I had put on 20 pounds and was feeling badly about myself, just not like a role model at all. I was annoyed and angry all the time, and I remember feeling whenever I saw one of my builders or members reaching out to me in a text or online that I just wished they'd go away. And guess what? You get what you wish for, and they slowly started to do that. And at the same time, my body was giving me trouble. My home life was a struggle as my husband was going through his own emotional difficulties that led to major financial problems. I took my eye off my business, and although I've always maintained my rank, my business was on the slow decline. And I don't know if anybody can relate to this, but it was just kind of getting to the point where I was just kind of over it and considering, let's just letting it fizzle out. But I just couldn't, I just believe in the mission of Young Living way too much. I will always be a Young Living user. And I truly, truly believe in the power of network marketing as my as my path to financial freedom. So I knew I had to find a way to make this work for me. A year and a half ago, I decided to pick myself up physically and mentally and get back in shape and get my head 100% back in the Young Living game. But this time I did it with a plan. And that was to focus my efforts on teaching about subjects that I enjoy and can speak about from the heart. I wrote 2 books based on my experience and natural solutions that I use to feel myself again and be healthy in mind, body, and spirit. And in addition to my 2 books, No Sweat, It's Just Menopause and Melt the Midlife Middle, I'm growing a community of midlife women online to share our experiences during the midlife years. So do I still teach Essential Oil 101 classes? Of course I do. I absolutely think it's the best entry to Young Living. I'm certainly the most economical for our members. But I have found that my classes, even my 101s, when I kind of have that focus on the midlife women's issues and how those oils can be used for that, I have greater success because I'm talking about me and my stories, the stories of my friends, my members, and my guests. They can just really relate. And every month, my business is rebuilding. So in this webinar today, I'm going to cover why the midlife woman is the perfect candidate to build a network marketing business, the challenges the midlife woman versus the younger woman face when starting a young living business and how to overcome them, how and where to find and attract midlife women to the young living products and business, what are the most common complaints of the midlife woman and which YL products are game changers for the woman over 40, and how to provide ongoing support for your midlife members so they become lifelong customers. Because ultimately, that is the goal we want, right? We don't want to just sign somebody up with a kit. We want to make somebody into an essential oils, an EO lifer, an essential oils for life. And at the end of this webinar, I will teach you about a class kit that I created that comes with a script specifically to teach your 40 and older ladies about thriving with oils during the midlife years, and about my 2 books, which can also be a great resource for you and your members. And I will also, if you can stick around to the end, this will be about an hour webinar, I will announce the winner of the set of both of you're going to get signed copies of both of my books that I'll draw randomly live at the end of this webinar. All right, I'm going to take a quick drink and then we're going to dive right in. All right. So what most women 50 and above don't realize is that all their life training has been invaluable and worth way more than any job could ever pay. The network marketing industry is a perfect fit with the lifestyle the midlife woman desires. It's a career choice that allows for flexibility and no income ceiling. And really what you put in is exactly what you get out. It's a career where the skills the midlife woman has spent decades unknowingly perfecting and are highly respected and sought after. These are skills that you can't easily teach. They come with life experience. And this career path pays a premium price for just being you. It can create health, purpose, and abundance in all aspects of life. Now, network marketing is also referred to sometimes as multi-level marketing or MLM. So I'm just curious in the comments, if this is your first, Young Living is your first MLM, put a 1 in the comments. And if you've done MLMs beyond, other than Young Living, go ahead and put a 2. I'm just curious to see. So April, you've done other ones before. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, but Nelia, this is your first one. Robin, 2, okay, like 15, like many of us, Robin. And that's all because we're just looking for that financial freedom. But Young Living is my last stop. So wonderful. So if you've worked in network marketing before, then you know that network marketing is a business that depends on good relationships. But for those of you who may be accidentally started a Young Living business, which is a big chunk of Young Living builders, you may not really know that much about MLMs and comp plans and just the full power of the industry you have entered. If you are a relatively new builder, you've probably realized that network marketing is basically just a business where you're sharing a high quality product that you use and love and recommending it to people just as you would a product you bought at Target or Macy's that you tried and had great results. Network marketing is for people who enjoy meeting new people and nurturing the relationships they already have. It's for people who want to be a part of something bigger than themselves and make a difference in people's lives. Your success depends not only on your efforts, but this is my favorite part. It also depends upon your ability to serve, lead, motivate, and help others to succeed as well. Now, according to the Direct Selling Association's 2016 annual report, and I can promise you these numbers have definitely got increased since 2016, but more than 20 million people were involved in direct selling in the United States in 2015, with estimated retail sales reaching $36.12 billion. Now, for those of you in here in Young Living, we know that Young Living is over $1 billion company, so we make up a chunk of that number, which is so awesome. Network marketing industry increases by about 600,000 people per year. People are really starting to look at this as a viable income source. More than 77% of people involved in direct selling in 2015 were women, and 85% of those women were making over $100,000 in direct sales and network marketing. Woohoo, right? I mean, that's, to me, showing that this is the right industry for us to be in. 74% of baby boomers are looking for a creative second career that allows them to work when they want to after they retire. And 44% of people involved with direct selling or network marketing are 45 and over. So you just look at those numbers right there. And I always say, I always consider midlife these days from like 40 to 80. I mean, really, I get it. The baby boomers may not, some people may not consider that, but I'm telling you, I have a lot of 70-year-old and up people on my team that are active and out there and sharing. So this is really great news for the midlife woman trying to start up a business in the network marketing industry. Also, I don't know if you would agree with this before I go on to this next slide here, but I was at the Young Living Convention in this summer, and, I don't know, there's about 4 million Young Living users. I couldn't really find the information to support this part, but if I had to guess, probably about 35 to 40% of women in Young Living are over 50. And I figured that out, figuring that probably about half of them, 50% of people in Young Living are under 40 or men. But when I attended convention this year, sure, I saw a lot of, big bellies and, babies in strollers, but there really seemed to be a lot more people who look like me, with some glasses, some gray hair, a few little laugh lines than in past years. And there is definitely not only a noticeable growth in midlife women in Young Living becoming customers, but also them wanting to jump in and get involved in the business side. So I don't know if anybody was at convention. Dawn, you were. It was amazing. So I don't know if you happened to notice, when looking around, but there really was a lot of people who looked to be 40 and over. All right, so now back to this slide here. So Sonia Stringer, professional speaker, coach, and popular mentor to women in the network marketing and direct selling profession, say that women and network marketing seem to fit together as perfectly as chocolate and peanut butter. Perhaps it's because success in this business is so dependent on factors like teamwork, collaboration, coaching, and connection, generally traits that come naturally to women. And women over 50 have a significant advantage not only over men in network marketing because of these attributes, but also over their younger female counterparts because these types of skills are developed over time and with maturity. So I wanted to take a moment to look at these 4 factors and see how the midlife woman can really shine in these areas. So the first area is teamwork. Whether at an office or putting on a church fundraiser, working as a team is common for women. Women are joiners, and they know that it's more fun when you work with others. Women over 50 have learned to leave their ego at the door for the highest good of the team, and they don't need to be in the spotlight or need to prove themselves. They know their strengths. Women in their midlife years have learned to play well with others and manage different personalities, and they are a lot less drama. They're dependable and they pull their weight, and they know when to lead and when to support. Network marketing allows women to be leaders of teams, but also to be taught by and work alongside extraordinary people. Another one of my favorite things about the network marketing industry. Collaboration. So women are multitaskers, and we have to be to juggle all that life throws at us. And when younger, many women feel that they have to be the perfect wife, the perfect friend, the perfect daughter, and they try to be Wonder Woman, being there for everyone. But women, in their midlife years have given up this crazy notion. For the first time, they're at the forefront of their life and have the time to focus on themselves and what makes them happy. And anyways, they already know they're Wonder Women, right? And they have the physical and emotional scars to prove it. Midlife women have honed all the necessary skills to do a million things at once, but we have definitely learned through the years that we don't have to do it all. We can do what we're good at and ask for help and delegate the rest. And most midlife women have seen that their most successful experiences were not ones they did alone, but where they got together with other people and worked towards a common goal. Midlife women particularly love the give and take and sharing of ideas and the community of like-minded women that collaboration facilitates naturally. Collaboration is vital to the success of the network marketer. Every successful network marketer knows that they can't do this business alone, nor do we want to, right? I mean, it's much more fun to work with energetic, forward-thinking go-getters than to do this by yourself. So coaching. Coaches train or instruct someone or a team in a specific skill area. And women are natural coaches, right? I mean, who better, to teach their children? We taught all of our children how to brush our teeth or how to do the laundry. We taught them just about everything. And who are the kids' soccer coaches and their Girl Scout leaders? Or at work, the team leaders and the trainers. Women in their midlife years know a lot of stuff just by being around on Earth a while. And people are looking for our life wisdom. Women at this age have figured out how they best communicate their ideas through trial and error and have learned how to adjust their coaching style when needed because they've interacted with a lot of personalities over the years and have found a much more mature and effective way of communicating with different personalities. I definitely have found that to be true on my team. Coaches are motivators and cheerleaders and sometimes shoulders to cry on. Women over 50 or in their 50s, 40s, 50s, 60s have been there with a friend who've lost a parent or cheered their husbands on in their careers. They know how to pick someone up and be there for someone, but also how to show them the way. And as one builds a team in network marketing, being a good coach to those you are supporting is important for all of your successes. So having the skills to be motivational, empathetic, knowing when and how far and in what way to push someone to be their best is a skill that all the top network marketers have mastered. So take a moment in the comments, maybe write one way that you've coached somebody and how did it feel to see them succeed after you coached them? I know everybody here has coached somebody in some way. So Nelia, yes, and again, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. You went to the Young Living convention too, and you agree, yes, that definitely have some more people there. All right, I'm going to go on, and as you guys start to answer that, I'll look back and we'll read some of those. So connection. Women are natural sharers and relationship builders, and they share everything from their favorite TV shows to their favorite restaurants to the trusted professionals they use with friends and family. They engage in conversation with grocery clerk and the UPS guy and the person waiting online at the airport, or maybe that's just me, I don't know, I'm a talker, but they listen with an empathetic ear and they sincerely try to help solve a problem. Midlife women or women in general bring people together. They are collectors of people. And midlife women have made thousands of connections over the years. They've built a support system. They're natural networkers, and they have large networks, even if they think they don't. You hear that a lot, oh, I don't know anybody, but how many organizations and kids activities have the midlife woman been involved in with over the years? A lot, right? They are already trusted by many and are people's go-to person for their recommendations and knowledge, and people do business with those they know, like, and trust. And in network marketing, this is absolutely a truth. You've probably heard that before, but it absolutely in network marketing is a truth. The midlife woman has naturally cultivated these kind of relationships for years. So think about the connections that you've made over the years. Maybe name me an organization or a club that you've been part of over the years. And have you connected with anybody recently from those groups? And maybe you can think about if there's one person from those groups that you haven't spoken to in a while, but you've always really liked and would love to have back in your life, possibly maybe even in your business. And just, do you believe that if you could rekindle that relationship with that person and be a good friend, that you could then, after you've rekindled that relationship, share Young Living with that person because you know it could help them if it's helped you? Because that's how we want to do it. We don't want to just, hook up with somebody online. Hey, haven't heard from you in 20 years. I remember you, and guess what? I've got oils. You want to buy them? We want to genuinely rekindle these relationships. So rekindle them with the people you want to rekindle them. Some of them we let go for a reason. All right. So Yvonne wrote, I help people understand the importance of digestive health. That is very, very important. Elizabeth uses the aroma freedom technique. Fantastic. Helps someone overcome the fear of public speaking. Ooh, that's a good one. We might have to talk. I love that one. Public speaking is one of my favorite things to do. And the more people, especially the more midlife women, we can help find our voice, the better. So kudos to you, Elizabeth. All right. So So where can we find these midlife women, right? Well, first of all, the midlife woman market for essential oils in my 5 years of sharing is, I found, very untapped. Many of my younger crossline leaders, they'll complain that the area is oversaturated with young living people, or that all of their friends already use oils. And this is definitely not the case with a midlife woman. I mean, I have never have felt that my area was saturated with people. In fact, it's probably the exact opposite. When I teach classes to my crowd or my leaders' crowds, I'm always shocked when the majority of the room has never even heard of essential oils. Or nowadays, you kind of have to live under a rock if you haven't heard of essential oils, but most of them have no idea what they are, and definitely have never tried them and have never heard of Young Living. I mean, just recently it happened. I was teaching a class and 90%, I was shocked, 90% of the women had never tried an oil and had never heard of Young Living. So that's great because there are 43 million midlife women in the United States alone. And that's a lot of women out there not knowing that we have something that can help them thrive during the midlife years. So ladies, you got to get on my Midlife Mojo bandwagon because we've got a lot of work to do to share our oily mission. But I don't want us just going out there and sharing all willy-nilly because that'll burn you out the way it burned out me teaching a million classes and trying to attract everybody. So I want you to start looking to take some time to think of your ideal client. Maybe grab a piece of paper and write across the top, my ideal client, and then take a moment and create that perfect customer on paper. And I'm talking about down to the nitty-gritty detail, the age range, what activities they like to do, their financial situation, their tech savviness, their home life. Do they still work? Have they ever been in an MLM before? Do they like to travel? Do they like animals? I'm talking every little detail. So by the end, you literally could picture this person sitting in the, on your couch next to you. That's how detailed you've gotten. And then I want you to do another list, creating a detailed list similarly about yourself, your interests, your likes, your dislikes. That's important too when trying to find your ideal client. And then check out the two lists for commonalities and compare them. Does your ideal client have grandkids and you do? Does your ideal client like to travel and you hate traveling? Well, you probably didn't, So think about this. Some of us we think about our company, oh, well, we want people who, do all these things and so forth, but they're really not your kind of person. So maybe you're more of a homebody. So, but typically you find when you compare these two lists, you're going to find that most likely your ideal client is similar to you. That is the natural tendency. For myself, a big part of doing Young Living is being around like-minded, peaceful, that's the key word, peaceful, ambitious, health-conscious women. I'm through with drama. I want to create a business with other women or couples who I want to hang out with. I don't need everyone on my team. I tried that and it left me tired and left me resentful. And I think the best and easiest way to attract new people to you is to start developing new relationships purposefully. To put yourself in places where that ideal client that you created is by doing activities that you genuinely love, and you will find them. And then the conversations will just naturally flow from there. But you want to find activities you like where that conversation can naturally flow. So you don't want to join like a women's group where they go to a movie once a month because you're not talking to people. So, look at the activities that you wrote down that you love to do. Like for myself, I've built my business going to things that I like to do, like book clubs or craft making clubs. Walking groups are a great thing to do, like bunko or card games like that. I'm a big dog lover, so, taking your dog to the dog park or, joining political groups or women's groups. If you're looking for, I always say, I've got a lot of retired teachers on my team, but they say they don't know anybody anymore. And I say, well, if you're a retired teacher, then, what a better person to, be in a business like network marketing than a teacher. So you should be looking for other retired teachers. And where's the best place maybe to find some other retired teachers? Well, join a retired teachers organization, right? That makes sense. If you're looking for midlife women builders, don't waste time going to any random, business to business networking marketing meeting, that people go to, networking meeting that people go to, that you can just, don't go to a general one, excuse me. I get so excited, my words, my tongue gets ahead of me. But seek out those network groups with your ideal clients. That's what you want to do. And know that most midlife women really aren't out there just running around. Their kids have grown and flown the nest, and meeting people isn't always easy. So you do need to be proactive in finding them. If you're going to take the time and make the effort, then just also make sure that it's something that helps you learn and grow and fulfills you in some way. Here in Florida, we've got a group called meetup.com. I know it is all around the United States. I don't know if it's all around the world, but go to meetup.com. And I probably check meetup.com every couple of months because people are always creating new groups. And then I just kind of look for some groups that might fit, so that I would enjoy, always number one, and then number two, where my people would be, where I could meet some new people. And if you can't find a group in your area, maybe checking community classes and things like that, then start your own group. Again, not necessarily an oils group, but something that you love that would feed into that. All right, so, and then in other easy ways, right? I mean, if you are out and about and you're, let's say at the hairdresser, strike up a conversation with the lady getting her, gray hair colored as well, or, maybe this is something I'm going to do. I just dropped my son off at school. I do have one more child at home, a couple more years, but, find maybe a woman that maybe you've always wanted to connect with more, but your life's been busy and you know that she now dropped off her kid and is probably a little bit lonely, and make a plan to go to lunch. People are looking at this age, people are looking to kind of restart their life and make new friends. They really are looking to make new friends. So now don't discount social media. I don't want you to totally discount it. There are some social media groups that are out there. So look for online groups that you can join that, again, have your ideal client, but you need to participate in the conversation, and not just every single time someone says something, I've got an oil for that, but give some other advice, encouragement, ask your own questions, be seen in these Facebook groups. And then maybe if it's allowed in that group, eventually privately reach out to people. But if you're seen, I have seen this time and time again, when, I make my presence known in different groups, just, by giving useful information to people that can benefit people. People will often reach out to me privately online for some, just asking me if I'm a coach, or, oh, I heard you mention the oils, or things like that. So again, our goal is to just kind of create these relationships, and Young Living will come naturally from there. All right, I'm going to take a quick drink as we move on to the next one. Read some of your guys' quotes here. All right, Robin, you shared joy with a client who lost her father previously. Yes, I mean, those are the things we can do, right? I mean, I did the same thing too recently. Just being who we are and sharing our oils genuinely. And Dawn, yeah, you agree. You can't wait to start teaching the midlife woman. It's really changed the way my business is shaping up, but it's changed me in my business for sure. All right, so back to this. Challenges. So there are areas that I just discussed where the midlife woman shines, but there are some challenges that you're going to face too and have to overcome in both enrolling midlife women in your business, and once they are a business builder, there may be difficulties that you have supporting them. And these challenges are going to be different than some of the challenges that you may have when you attract the 20 and 30-year-old oiler. Say that 10 times fast. Obviously, these challenges I'm about to mention do not apply to every woman across the board, but I have seen too many times, like a 55-year-old member, she comes on board all excited to share the oils, can't wait to do the business. And, if I really think about it, the handful of members that came to me day one and said they also want to build the business, but when they got their kit, that's not the typical, that definitely is not the norm, but all the ones that did that were all midlife women. But for most of us, what we end up doing is we follow our younger uplines leads, and we tell our new midlife members that they have to join like a million different Facebook groups. They've got to start posting on Facebook regularly and show people the oily lifestyle. They need to attend weekly Zoom business calls that their upline has. And that their upline has this WhatsApp group that everybody sends their messages on, so they got to download the app, and their eyes just start to glaze over, and fear and doubt becomes evident in you can just watch it happen. Their whole energy deflates. We really need to meet the midlife woman where they're at, not intimidate them with all of this, for a lot of women, this technology before they've even gotten started, or all these things they have to do. So I don't know if, you are one of, or you have maybe one of these types of women that you've had on your team before, but has anybody out there seen this with your older members, that they come on board all excited and then we throw all this stuff at them and they just kind of fizzle out a little bit or go away, or So whether it's communicating with new builders or reaching out to potential members, your communication style is key. Things like texting, DM, bots, Zelle, Periscope, WhatsApp, Marco Polo is definitely the first choice among the younger women for communicating. You know, I found with those numbers, they like the brevity of a quick text or the time saver of making a quick video message. But the older women I have found prefer more traditional ways of communicating, such as, oh my goodness, God forbid, picking up the phone and talking on the phone, or meeting someone in person, face to face, or emailing, and definitely some texting as well. But many midlife women are often intimidated by all the technology, and they just want it simple. They want, or should I say they really need, the personal touch. Most of them didn't grow up with the iPhone in hand, and well, I know for anybody of my members who are on my team, you know that I am notorious for sending these big, long text messages. And then inevitably, at least one person will message me and say, so I got your text, and could you just call me and maybe explain it more? And that's just the one who asked, right? I'm sure there are others who maybe needed more personal guidance, but were too embarrassed, or maybe just missed the text or the WhatsApp message altogether because they're just not as attached to their hip at the phone as their younger women are. Or maybe they don't even know how to respond on the WhatsApp or the text or something like that. So if you want a woman in her midlife years to trust and connect with you, you cannot hide behind the written word. You have to get over yourself and pick up the phone and call your friend. You gotta, call the person who was, nice enough to give you their phone number in the line at the market and just share your passion. Set up live classes, not just Zoom and Facebook classes. And remember, many of these women are bored and they're feeling lonely. So add a fun component to the class where they can interact. Maybe, where they make a DIY project to bring home, or encourage story sharing. Introduce from the beginning a new person with a seasoned oil or around the same age. So they just from the beginning feel like they have a place of belonging. And I see a lot of my members do this. I never do this. And I get it, it saves on time, but don't just save a link, send the link for signing somebody up. I mean, these people are trusting you, especially the midlife women. They have a lot of trust issues with these network marketing companies from being around the block. So don't just send them a link. I mean, let them know you care and walk them through the process. I know it may be a little bit more time consuming to do this, on the phone or even in person, but even also writing handwritten thank you notes, mailing them out, for joining your team or something like that. These are the things we should be making the time for when it comes to our midlife women. Again, maybe the younger women, you can send them a link and that's exactly what they want. But it is a little bit different mentality. And I can say personally, in terms of like handwritten notes, I have personally saved every single written note written to me by my upline. I know that it's effortful to do that. It takes time to do that. And so I do, it does mean something to people. So if you want to serve the midlife woman and increase your enrollments and have them stick around, give the midlife woman a safe place to let down her hair, speak in her language, and open her mind to new ideas. Don't make her feel old and outdated because she's never heard of Venmo, which I just heard about in the past couple of months, or isn't comfortable using Facebook Messenger. And you will often have a person ready to give what you have a try and sign up. And they will definitely stick around if they continue to feel a part of a group that supports and values them. Now, another big challenge for Midlife Builder is technology. So those of you here on this call today, you've saw my own issues with technology, right? Happens to the best of us. Doesn't matter how many times I get online. I always say Casper the ghost lives in my computer. I don't know. But in addition to technology, having a social media presence is another big challenge that a midlife woman faces. And that's really the technology piece has been my personal, as a leader, biggest challenge with my older builders. I have spent hours educating people how to create a Facebook profile, how to make a Facebook post, how to add someone to a Facebook group, how to download Zoom, how to use Canva to create a graphic, how to get into the virtual office, how to place an ER order, all of those things. And making a quick, I thought, I'll just make a little quick video and I'll post it. That doesn't always work. I still get the phone calls. So many do need to be led by the hand or they won't even attempt any of this stuff. The technology side of doing business isn't second nature and is intimidating. So when your upline says to you, like mine always says, oh, we're starting a Marco Polo call, can you get all your team members on it? I'm going to be honest, most of the time I don't even waste my time doing it. I mean, the few people I know who use it, I'll send it out to. But, you know, no one can even look at it. They can't figure out how to get it. They can't, by the time they even get on the call, I'm so exhausted. I'd rather just get the information and disseminate it how I know they want to receive their information. Oh, and that leads me to a key point. So from day one, find out how that person wants to be communicated with and only communicate with them that way. It's your fault if they told you they want to be talked to on the phone and you continue to send them a Facebook Messenger and they're not getting the message. It's not up to them, and it's up to you to find out how they like to be communicated, and that is how you communicate with them. You are a leader. They are trusting you. They are putting their money, you know, towards you. You are benefiting from them benefiting. So, you know, that's what we work for. We work for our members. That's how I view it, at least. So also, this is a big one for midlife women. They're not comfortable sharing their lives publicly. And although many are on social media, they're usually more lurkers than they are sharers. You know, they weren't born with a camera documenting every meal they eat or every moment of their lives like younger women. So they don't really get it maybe, or they don't, oftentimes they don't even think they have anything to share since they don't have like cute toddlers to post about. Some women are willing to learn, but I can tell you most of them are never going to be the social media superstars. And I've had many women say to me they want to share the oils, but if it means they have to share on social media, then they're not going to do it. And that's the complete opposite of my younger builders who like to hide behind the social media walls. So I'm not saying that the internet hasn't changed how the world does business and that a lot of people, you know, of course they can be reached all at once through social media. But if you want to help the midlife woman be successful, then you have to think outside the current box and basically go old school, right? Most aren't going to build their empires on social media. They're not going to be, as I always say, they're not going to be the next Instagram influencer. So you need to create other ways of educating and connecting. And I think, and I'll say this a couple times, the best way to do that is to hold live in-person classes, monthly classes. And if you don't have if you have other leaders who are your age, get together and every month a different one of you talk on a different topic. We're going to talk about my kit in a little bit, my class kit that I have. It's got 5 different sections. You can each month just take a different topic. And a different person teach it so you don't burn out. But hold monthly classes. It almost becomes like a monthly women's group that everybody knows to bring their midlife women to. And we're going to talk about why that's important in just a moment. But empower. You can also empower your midlife business builders. You know, just because we don't know what Venmo is, or just because we don't know, you know, I don't know how to use Snapchat, doesn't mean we don't want to learn. Right? So maybe even if you don't know how to do it, ask one of your younger, either crossline or downline members or upline members, if you can hold a monthly tech class or social media class specific for your group that you can walk them through. Or I've been saying, you know, the first thing you teach them is how to get on a Zoom call, right? And then you can teach these tech classes once a month where the people, as they put new people into the business, they can send people to this once a month class where people can learn these skills. And you're going to save these videos and people can go back and watch them, you know, if they're on video, or maybe even tape them if they're live, if you want to do them live. You can also pair them up with a younger builder who's great with computer skills, who maybe has some time or doesn't mind answering some of the questions. You know, we all have somebody who's really savvy and, you know, they don't mind sharing that knowledge. This will save time for you. And then another great thing you can do for the midlife business builder to help support her is to point her towards pre-created resources. There are so many. When I started 5 years ago, there was nothing out there to share. I had to create everything. But now there's lots of pre-made graphics, newsletters, class scripts out there. Many of our Royal Crown Diamonds hit that rank long before social media was a thing. And person-to-person contact is how most success was reached in the network marketing industry in general. So don't think that, you know, as I said, you don't think you have to be or recruit the next Instagram influencer. You just have to, you know, to be successful. You just need to find people with a genuine love of the oils who aren't afraid to share in person and give them the tools and the support. And so growth may be slower than someone who's speaking to hundreds or thousands of followers at once, but this is not a race, right? This is our own journey, and we aren't comparing ourselves to anybody else. That will absolutely kill your business if you start comparing your journey. There is no reason why your team growth cannot be as rapid as the ones that, you know, have this huge social media following and hit, you know, Royal Crown Diamonds and, you know, in 8 months. The network marketing game isn't about that. It isn't about you know, how you communicate with people. It's about inspiring them, right? It's about helping them see the big picture so that they too want to share and inspire others. So offline, online, both are successful for finding new people and growing a huge organization. But just know, with a midlife woman, you want to offer those offline. In a world that's so online, you want to be the one offering those offline opportunities. By doing that, you become the expert in your area, and you become the go-to person. I mean, like, I can't begin to tell you how many people that, say, oh, I heard you were the midlife mojo lady, or I heard you're the one to talk to about hot flashes, or my friend told me you're the person I got to talk about menopause. Things like that. You want to be that for your members and then for your area. So I don't know if you've experienced any of these issues that I just mentioned with any of your older members or builders, but how did you overcome them? I'm going to take a drink break for a second, and I'm going to read what some of these again here. So, Nelia, yes, they get lost finding groups. Mine seem to be liking texting. Yep, texting seems to be pretty good. And Zoom line and online classes are definitely, it's getting better, but they definitely aren't their thing. Dawn, you're not a huge tech person, so you can relate. Yep, absolutely, right? I mean, we are our client. When we look in the mirror, you're looking at the person you want to attract. So if you are a really techie person and the person who isn't techie drives you crazy, then you want to attract the midlife woman who is techie, right? It goes back to attracting that client that you want. You're shocked how many people, Elizabeth, read and post and don't comment. So right, we want to encourage that and tell everybody to comment on each other's. People like just to be heard. They want it, right? You take this time to do that. People want to know they're out there listening. All right, thank you ladies for sharing. And here, it makes me really feel really good to know that you're out there listening and participating, because we know how lonely this online world can feel. So it's, this is the best way we can, have that interaction. That's perfect. So we, with Young Living, have a midlife gold mine in our products. Our products that support the menopausal and midlife women are door openers to all that Young Living has to offer. If you help a midlife woman through a day without random, inopportune bursts of sweating, they are never leaving you. I can promise you that. If you help a woman enjoy intimacy with their spouse again, you may have saved a marriage. If you help a woman get out of her emotional funk and look forward to waking up every day, you have changed a life. And quite honestly, those conversations aren't really easy ones to have over a text or a Facebook message. Women don't usually open up and talk about these topics to anyone. Not their moms, not their BFFs, and for many, not even their doctors, right? I mean, a lot of times they're going to tell you that they're having trouble sleeping, but what they're not telling you is the reason why they're having trouble sleeping is because they've been up all night long. 1 minute they're whipping the blankets off and they've got the fan on them, and they're taking their shirt off, and then 2 minutes later they're freezing cold and they're putting their blankets on and they're shutting the fan off because they're having all these hot flashes. That's why they're so tired. And you're not going to find that out in a text. So they need to be in an intimate, safe setting where possibly others are sharing, whether that's you sharing your story or others in a class sharing their story, before you're really going to know what those issues are. And the best way to do this is, I know a lot of people say, oh, meet people at Starbucks, but really for these kind of conversations, you want to be in privacy where nobody can listen in somebody's home or in your home, somewhere where people feel safe. Or I like to do the classes. I love to do midlife classes because then you get to hear everybody's kind of story. But I like to keep these classes small. I don't like classes. I like about 8 to 10 people. I think that naturally facilitates kind of intimacy. And I can usually get more personal story sharing when it feels like girlfriends talking rather than teaching a class. And let me tell you, some of these classes go long, okay? Because once you get people talking, they don't want to stop. They have not had anybody to talk about these things with. They have been embarrassed. And that is one thing that I have found most definitely since I started bringing up topics of midlife and got over myself and, started saying the word vaginal dryness, out loud to people. All of a sudden, everybody in the world is telling me about like their sex life or their lack of sex life and how they love their husbands and yet they haven't had sex in months, in some cases years. And these, you want to be that person, right? That's what we want to be with that person, because we want, not only do we want to be that person, but we have the products to help these people, to change these lives. So Young Living products support midlife women physically, emotionally, spiritually, hormonally, and sexually. not just with our oils, but with our chemical-free cleaning products, our heart, digestive, and endocrine supporting supplements, our weight management sleek line, our skincare, and our personal care products, right? So the midlife woman is the perfect age to reap maximum benefits from a Young Living membership, because not only are they able to use all of those things that I just mentioned to help their own personal needs, but I have a lot of members who are actually the caretakers of their grandbabies, so they can also use the seedling lines. I have a lot of members, you know, when those kids have gone off to college, they now have gotten their fur babies, have become their prides and joys in their life, and they maybe joined a lot of animal organizations, so they can talk about the pet line. Like literally, the midlife woman needs you to let them know that you have a safe alternative for everything they possibly could want. And, you know, I want to say something on that topic, you know, really quickly. So, you know, a lot of people will say that, you know, they go to these classes and so forth, and they have their younger uplines, and they're teaching these classes, and they're teaching even a 101 classes, and they're talking about all of these oils, how they pertain to like the young mommy, because they're the young mommies who are teaching them. And my classes, you know, my ladies, you know, they look at me crazy when these people are talking about their dry nipples from breastfeeding. And my ladies are like, hello, you know, we're dry somewhere else, right? So knowing that we have these products that we can share, and share the ones that are important to them, are wonderful. So the first product, I just picked a couple just to kind of go over. I picked a couple of my favorites here. The first one that I think every perimenopausal and menopausal and beyond women should have by bedside is the Sensation Massage Oil. It's great for foreplay, it's great for self-play, it's great for all private parts gliding in and out comfortably. And if you haven't smelled the Sensation Oil or the massage oil, I personally love it. Let me know if you've smelled it. I find it intoxicating, and I know that it draws my man right in. We love using the Sensation Massage Oil in our bedroom, not only for fun, but out of necessity. And in my book, No Sweat, It's Just Menopause, I refer to a study that found that 88% of midlife women experience some form of vaginal dryness leading to lack of intimacy. And that was definitely me. And the lubricants that we buy off the drugstore shelves are just filled with chemical poisons, and we're allowing them to enter our most absorbable and sensitive areas. And I'm sure just about everyone listening in, and unfortunately listening in, has been touched by breast cancer or ovarian cancer in their life. And studies are coming out all the time linking these toxins in our products to deadly disease. So think about this. If you have a woman who hasn't had sex in months, and she knew that a squirt of Sensation Massage Oil could help give her not only pleasure with no long-term long-term negative side effects, don't you think she would just jump right in and grab a bottle? And if it worked, and she knew that she had a supportive community to back her up, don't you think that she might start telling her closest friends? I can promise you she will, okay? At the very least, you're gonna have a lifelong customer. My other recommendation is Clary Sage. Now, once you start hitting 40, you know, and over, estrogen loss, it's just inevitable for every single woman as she ages. And the estrogen drop can contribute to hot flashes, low libido, weight gain, wrinkly skin, and emotional turmoil. Clary Sage is considered a phyto or plant-based estrogen. And when you apply it twice a day, it can help that woman find their hormonal balance, and all those kind of annoyances I mentioned will subside. When I talk about Clary Sage, I always like to mention this, especially with my midlife crowd, that Clary Sage can make you more fertile. So if you are still getting your period, or it's been less than 12 months since you got a period, you are still considered perimenopause. You have to have not had a period for 12 consecutive months to be considered truly done. So if you have 12 or less months, and you are definitely want to use some kind of protection if you're using Clary Sage, because it can make you more fertile. And you want to pass that message along to your members, because you don't want to be blamed for any unwanted babies 9 months later. So if anybody has used the Clary Sage for anything, let me know. I love Clary Sage. This was an oil that when I talked about how I had put on all that weight and was miserable for a couple of years, Clary Sage was the oil that really turned things around for me. All right, so once your midlife clientele has experienced feeling better, they're going to want to jump on board with you. but not always, not always, but oftentimes these women, midlife ages, have that financial means more than the younger women do to explore all the products that Young Living has to offer. So there's less of that, I don't have the money excuse, but you have different excuses. And some of those then may be cautious about joining Young Living, and definitely cautious about joining Essential Rewards at first. Many of them have been around the block, they've probably been burned by another company. So it's up to you to show them how Young Living's ER is different and how it and all of the Young Living products benefit them. Unlike, many of our younger female midlife women, younger female counterparts, the midlife women and older are pretty brand loyal, right? So I'll say it again, host your own midlife women classes. Really talking and learning about all the Young Living products and why they need not look anywhere else, they will stay with you. They'll hear other users' stories, and their belief is just going to build. And then one day, this happens, I can literally, off the top of my hand, think 3 times right now off the top of my hand. Or just one day, they didn't even tell me, they didn't call me, they just show up in my ER because they've been listening and they've been hearing. And now finally, they believe that this isn't like every other thing, and they're not going to get scammed, and that this stuff really works, and that the ER program is going to benefit them. As I mentioned earlier, the majority of my classes are kind of geared to those younger women. So, you want to be hosting your own, even your own 101 classes, so that they can kind of have that, that slant to it. Here's a complaint I had just the other day from a Young Living builder. She was complaining to me about the Young Living August product promotions were filled with all of these Kid Sense oils for back to school and all the graphics that were going around there. They had to share with the backpacks. And like, sure, yes, we do have some grandmas who that could benefit. But she was really upset about it. And I said, this is where the midlife woman may have to think out of the box a little bit. We need to show our members how they can use those kitty oils for themselves. Because we all know, I just bought the Seedlings Calm oil that just came out because I don't really love lavender. And I wanted to see if I maybe like this smell better. So it's up to us to show our members, if they're not oils that obviously pertain to them, how they can use them, or why else would they bother, buying the, trying to upgrade the promos. So I'm almost get done here, ladies. Hang in there with me. For my No Sweat, It's Just Menopause class kit, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it in just a few minutes. But, this is a wonderful way of getting started teaching these classes if you're a topic that you're maybe not as comfortable with. The 25-page script gives you everything you need to run a successful midlife class. You can use it as one long class or educate on one of the 5 topics included in a series of classes. You can host a DIY party and make some of the moisturizers and hair serum for staying youthful. I give you recipes not only in the back of the print book, No Sweat, but I've also created a separate download recipe book, Midlife Mojo recipe book, with 25 new recipes that are included in the kit. And as I said in the beginning, the midlife woman craves human connection. They're lonely. So when you supply them with that comfortable place to have fun and they belong and they're a part of something, you're going to see these leaders naturally pop up. They're going to be like, ooh, this is kind of a fun place to bring people. And in your teams, there are also, I'm sure, online Facebook groups with your upline teams and so forth. Make sure that you're in those upline groups, posting recipes that pertain to the midlife woman, giving suggestions, or helping answer questions. Just support your ladies, and they will stick around. Has anybody purchased my class kit yet? I know a lot of you were at Aroma Sharing and purchased the kit. And if you have you tried it out or looked it over? I know I've gotten some wonderful feedback on it from people. So, all right. So my book, No Sweat, It's Just Menopause. Now, midlife women in business and in politics, right? You can't turn on the TV without seeing a midlife woman just kicking butt all over the place. Midlife women are finding their voices. They're ready to stand up and stand out. And I truly believe the midlife woman is going to change the face of network marketing. And you can be one of the founding leaders of the Midlife Mojo movement by sharing, teaching, and encouraging your fellow midlife woman. I mentioned my book earlier. It's called No Sweat, It's Just Menopause, Eating, Exercise, and Essential Oils for a Healthy Change. And I released it last summer based on my personal research and experience. And I really probably could have named it No Sweat, It's Just Midlife, because it's really good for anybody in the perimenopausal years and beyond. It provides education and practical natural solutions on the hot topics important to the midlife woman, like hormonal imbalance and hot flashes and night sweats, libido, weight, emotions, empowerment, and beauty. And each chapter ends with a couple of DIY recipes to make to support the topic. You can purchase the book on Amazon, and I'll put the link in the comments. Or you can just go to Amazon and look it up yourself. But has anybody read my book? It's been out for about a year now. I too, this also, I love it. People have been giving me some really great feedback on it, and that's helping their members. All right. All right, so No Sweat Class Kit. Prior to the release of my book, I had started teaching midlife and oils classes, and people on my Crossline team were coming to me and sending me people to their classes, and I started to ask my own leaders again, so I didn't burn out, if maybe they could start teaching classes on these subjects. But they said, no, we don't say it the way that you do. So I wrote a script, so now everyone can say it like I do and teach their own classes. It's duplicatable and easy to follow. And I put together my No Sweat Class Kit to include a printed copy of my book, a downloadable script, and a downloadable recipe book with 25 new recipes, in addition to the ones in my book. There's also a private Facebook group to join for support, which is awesome. And then my kit with the 2 books, the printed book, the 2 downloadable books, and the Facebook group costs $45. And if you were somebody who's purchased the book, but you did not purchase the kit and you want to upgrade, I would be happy to do that for $30. Just message me and I'll send you a PayPal balance for the difference. And anybody who's upgrading to the kit between now and August 31st will receive free shipping, and I will actually go ahead and sign the copy of the book that I am sending you. Also, really quickly, as I am running a bulk buy, so if you think you're going to be teaching these No Sweat classes through August 31st, you can purchase 20 books for $199 plus shipping directly from me, and that brings it down from $15 to $10 a book. And if you let me know that you purchase them, when you purchase the book, that you listen to this webinar, I'll send you another little treat. All right, just 2 more slides here. The last product I created, I want to mention, is my latest book, Melt the Midlife Middle, a beginner's guide for women to the intermittent fasting and essential oils lifestyle. I released this at the Aroma Sharing event at Young Living Convention, and people are just, even just today, I got another great email saying how they can't wait to give the intermittent fasting a try after reading the book. My official Amazon launch is tomorrow, Tuesday, August 27th. The ebook will be available on Amazon on sale for only 99 cents. So help me try and reach my #1 status, and the print book will also be discounted. I would love your support on that day, so if you've already read my book and you can write a review, that would be fantastic as well. I also have a private Facebook group that is growing number of midlife women ages 40 to 80 worldwide as we start these important conversations and forge new friendships on my private Facebook page called The Right Side of 45. To connect with me more, you can go here, shoreby.midlifemojo. And I know you're all hanging in there because you want to win this prize, so I'm going to do the raffle right now. I'm going to give you 1 second. So we talked about technology. I don't have any fancy way of doing technology here. I'm going to come up here. And, hold on a second. I'm going to take my video off. There we go. So you can see me. So I'm going to just quickly write down everybody's name on a piece of paper because I'm sure there's a better way to do it, but that's what I'm doing. Darn, let's see. Then I'm going to make sure I got everybody. And I'm going to actually include Elizabeth because she had to jump off, and I felt bad about that because I know I'm going a little over. She just dropped off. All right, I got Amelia and Robin. And let me see, anybody else? That's it. Okay, so who I have on here, and go ahead and unmute yourself if I do not call your name and let me know. Yvonne, April, Robin, Nelia, Dawn, and then I'm going to include Elizabeth too because she literally had to get off to get on another call, and that's my bad, not hers. So, all right. So I'm going to fold these all up real quick. Have you got any tech people out there that have a better way for me to do this quicker? I'm always open and welcome to new suggestions. And then I'm going to put them in my very fancy random generator. We're going to dig it all up, and I'm going to choose. And you guys are playing right now. I'm drawing to win a signed copy of both my Midlife Mojo, Melt the Midlife Middle book and my No Sweat It's Just Menopause book. And the winner is Yvonne. Yay! So Yvonne, that's awesome. If you would private message me, don't put it in here, but find me on, I know we're on Facebook together. So private message me your address and I will send those out. And then just really quickly, ladies, thank you so much for joining me today. I apologize for the little tech problems in the beginning, but I do hope that you found this valuable and that you're excited and motivated to go out and share with your midlife clients and midlife members out there. I am doing this webinar one more time tonight at 8 p.m. So if you have any members or builders that you think could benefit from this, please share with them the link so they can get on live. And that is it. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, wonderful week, and please come and join me tomorrow and support my official book launch. Have a great one, everybody. And